Go to stage 2 of building the 6 different levels. First stage is obviously mastery, as we've said before. Mastery for the English listening here today. Second stage is the niche, or the niche, again, depends on where you're from. Now, what we're aiming to do here is take care of cash flow. So stage 1 is about control. Stage 2 is about cash flow. Now what we're looking at is to find you a niche in the marketplace that you can do business in. See, I'll give you my definition of a niche. What it's about, in my mind, is pretty simple. If you have to compete on price, it's because you don't have a niche. If you're out there competing on price, trying to win the deal on price, it's because you don't have a niche. If you've got the niche, then it's really, really simple. You will compete on something other than price. You'll compete on quality. You'll compete on service. You'll compete on some form of uniqueness, and that's really what it's about. We've got to find you some sort of a uniqueness, a differentiation between you and your competitors. The moment we find that differentiation between you and your competitors, that unique point, that unique sales proposition, at that point in time, marketing and sales becomes so much simpler and so much easier. We may even look at using a guarantee in your business. You know, it's funny, consumer protection law states we have to guarantee what we do, states we have to refund money if we make a mistake on things. Why not use that to our advantage in our marketing? You know, and we'll design it so that it's written in your way so that you can control it and it's not going to have people ripping you off. But this is something you have to look for in your business. Now, let me take you to the next stage of understanding marketing, because that's really what a lot of the whole niche strategy is about, getting marketing working for you. And I know, I'm trained as an accountant. Of course, I would put marketing in the expense column. You know, I got to write a check out for it. I got to pay money for this thing. Well, marketing is only an expense if you don't do 2 things. Write these down. You got to measure and you got to test. You got to measure and you got to test. If you are measuring the results of every advertisement and testing the results of new ones against it and proving whether they're good, bad, or indifferent, then every single time you go out there, your marketing will move from being an expense to being an investment. And that's really what we've got to look for. We've got to take your marketing from something that is unproven, not working, not getting results. It's like, I walk into the average business owner and I said, listen, tell me, how much you spend on advertising? And let's imagine they said, I spend $1,000 a week on advertising. All right, you spend $1,000 a week. How many customers do you get from that 1,000? You know what their response is going to be, don't you? It's going to be, well, I don't know. How would you spend $1,000 and not know if you're getting it back? How would you go and take 1,000 euros out to the marketplace and say, let's go. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to spend 1,000. I'm going to get back, I don't know. See, the accountant in me comes out at this point in time and say, listen, marketing is math. If the numbers work, it's good marketing. If the numbers don't work, it's bad marketing. And the number of times I've heard statements like, well, half your marketing works and half doesn't, you never know which half. What rubbish is that? Or well, you know, you've got to build a brand, and if you place the advertisement over 17 weeks, eventually you'll get name recognition. Listen, that's sales pitches from people selling advertising. It's not from those of us who actually spend the money every single month looking for leads and looking for sales. Okay, and this is what we've got to get you to understand. So I'm going to take you and show you my 5 ways to build a business. These are the 5-step strategy, and we're going to work it through one by one. So watch as I go through each of these. First, we start with your number of leads. So that's the number of prospects, number of people that contacted you, you contacted them, they took some action. They walked into your store, they sent an email off your website, whatever it might be. These are the leads that you have for your business, potential customers. You got to multiply that by your conversion rate. Now, if you got a conversion rate of, let's say 10 people called you today and you sold 2 of them, that's 2 out of 10, 20% conversion rate. I'll get to how we improve each of these in a moment, but for now, let's understand the chassis. The reason I call this a chassis, by the way, is in my mind, I go back to the old story of Ferdinand Porsche. And what he did is he took the chassis of a VW Common Gear and turned it into a Porsche. You know, and it's the same chassis. One's a VW, one's a Porsche. It's pretty simple to tell the difference from them. And the same true for your business. But if you don't know this chassis, you'll never get the results. So you take your number of leads, you multiply that by your conversion rate. And guess what? That gives you your total number of customers that you deal with in your business. So here you are, you've got X number of customers you deal with. What have you got to do? Well, you've got to multiply that now by the number of transactions. How often do they come back and buy from you in a given week, month, year, whatever your measuring time frame of customer purchasing is? Some of you, it may be multiple years before they come back. Then you've got to multiply that again by your average sale. So how many dollars, pounds, euros do they spend when they come in and buy from you? Okay, what's the average amount? I know some people have got $5 and some $5,000. The average is so different. That's right. We still need the average, because if you multiply your number of customers by your transactions, by your average sale, then you end up with the total revenues of the business. That's the gross revenues. You've got to multiply that then by your margins to walk away with your bottom line profitability of the company. Now, just for fun, I'm going to put some numbers in this with you. I'm going to show you how we can actually build this into a decent business. So, take a look at these numbers. I'm going to pretend last year you had a nice little business. You had 4,000 potential customers. 4,000 leads contacted you or you contacted them. You converted 25% of them. Now, the average business owner I go and speak to says, oh, Brad, we're very good at conversion. I say, good. What's the measurement? What's your actual statistic? And they say, well, you know, I get at least 6, 7, 8 out of 10 of every people I meet. Then I get them to go away and measure it. And actually, what we find is it's usually more like 10, 20, 30%, nowhere near the top end scale. And by the way, that shouldn't upset you. That should excite you, because you can't double 80, but you can do a heck of a lot with 10 or 20. So in this business, you got 4,000 leads times 25% of them bought, you got 1,000 customers. We're going to pretend they came back twice last year on average. Now, some bought 12 times for the year. Some bought once, you never saw them again. But the average customer bought from you twice. Again, average. We're going to pretend the average customer spent 100 with you this time round. Some spent 5, some spent 500, but the average person on their visit spent $100, euros, pounds, wherever you're from. So your revenue is going to be 200,000. Here you are with 200,000 in revenue. We're going to pretend you got 25% as a margin, and that gives you your 50,000 a year to take home. Okay? So in this little business, we're going to work on this little business, try and build it up. First area we're going to work on is lead generation. So what we're going to do there is we're going to start to work on different strategies for you to build leads. The first book I ever wrote, Instant Cash Flow, there's 76 different strategies to help you build the leads. I've rated all of them, told you how to do each one. I wrote books, Instant Leads, Instant Promotions, all of these things to help you go and generate more leads to your business. But I'll give you a couple of examples. And I'm not talking about having you double these numbers, by the way. I'm just talking about small growth in some of these. So I worked with one guy who was a bakery store owner. And there's his little bakery store. Here he is running these advertisements. He was spending $300 a week on advertisements. I asked him the question, how many leads that get you? Guess his answer, I don't know. So we did a guess, and I said, well, would you get 30? He said, well, that'd be the most I'd possibly get. So you do the math. He spends $300 a week to get 30 new customers. $10 a customer is what he's paying to buy customers. That's right. Lead generation is about buying customers through marketing. So how much you're spending on the customer to buy them to come buy from you. Now, here's this guy's problem. He's spending $10 to buy a customer. Have a guess how much they spend when they come into his little bakery? About $5. So he's losing $5 on every single person that's a new customer to him. He's either got to get them to come back, or he's going to take a loss on that person forever and ever. So I asked him a simple question. I said, imagine what we did instead was we took your business and we ran that advertisement. We said at the top of the advertisement, free chocolate eclair. Just cut out and bring in this coupon. And he said, looks at me. He said, Brad, I couldn't possibly do that. I said, why not? He said, do you realize how many people come in for a free eclair in this town? I'm like, yeah, how many? He said, hundreds. I said, would you get 300? He said, absolutely. So here's the thing. $300 advertisement. Divide it by $1 per person, because you get 300 of them coming in. Cost him 30 cents in hard cost to build an eclair. So we got $1.30 for each new person coming in. Now, yes, agreed, some people will come in, grab the eclair and leave. The majority don't, especially if your coach helps you script the right way to deal with them when they do come into the store, so they do buy other things while they're there. This guy, first week, his numbers, 586 people bought in the coupon. Average person spent $4.50 while they were there, so yeah, a little less than his usual $5, but we still got them spending and covering our costs, and only 1 in every 17 people came in and grabbed the eclair and left. So, you know, I rang him, by the way, 2 weeks later and said, now, how did your advertisement go this week? He said, oh, I didn't run it. We were far too busy. Crazy, I know, but that's why you need a coach looking over your shoulder sometimes. Stop people doing just some of those simple, dumb things that we forget and we often don't look at. So we got to keep building this area of your number of leads. Let me give you another example. I was working with an accountant, and here's this guy running his usual accounting advertisements. He worked with small business owners, name, rank, and serial number advertisement. And, of course, he made the number one mistake you can make in an advertisement, put his name at the top of the advertisement. You know, the only people who care about your company name is you and your mother. So it goes at the bottom, put a headline with a benefit at the top. You see, this is what amazes me. People don't even know the simplest things about running their marketing. Target, offer, copy. You got to get the target audience right. You got to get the offer right, and then you got to worry about what you put in there. You know, these basic fundamentals of business that I want to teach you, I want my coaches to work with you on to help you grow in a spectacular business. This accountant, we changed his advertisement. What I did is I put him in a studio and I said, I want you to record an audio cassette called The 17 Fastest Ways to Reduce Your Business Tax Bill. I said, do you know 17 ways to help people reduce their business taxes? He said, well, at least 17. I said, good, let's record a tape. That's how long ago it was. Wasn't even a CD back then. You know, so here we are, we got this audio cassette. We run the advertisement, 17 Fastest Ways to Reduce Your Business Tax Bill. Call now for this free audio cassette. So his old advertisement used to get him 4 responses a month, and he ran it in a newspaper every single day, 4 responses a month. His new advertisement, every single time he ran it, got him 32 responses. You know, you start thinking about the different things that you can do to build your business if only you knew how. Lead generation, again, if I could work with you or my coach would work with you over the next 12 months, do you think we could get a 10% increase in your number of leads? Yes, we'd first need to measure it to know how many leads you're getting each and every week. But do you think we could get 10%? Not doubling it, trebling it, not 20%, not 30%, but just simple 10% increase over 12 months, given that we got 78 different strategies that we use with business owners. All 76 of the first ones I put in my book, got 2 more since then. You know, so take a look at the different ways that you can do it. So in this little business we got here, we say, okay, 4,000, what's it become? That's right, 4,400. So then we start to work on your conversion rate. Again, most business owners have no idea how bad their conversion rate is. I was working with this guy one time, he's an electrician. I said to him, listen, let's just do a simple thing. Let's test and measure. No, Brad. In my electrical business, me and all my people, we answer the phone really well. We get at least 70 or 80% of people. I said, excellent. Let's find out if it is 70 or 80. Let's do a test and measure, and let's actually get the numbers. So we came back the next week. I'm on the phone to the guy. Guess what his number was? It was 11%. Yeah. He was a little distraught. But, you know, I was excited because we can do a lot with 11%. You know, we scripted it. We worked on different things for his salespeople to do. We trained a few of his salespeople, especially his receptionists that answered the phone. And we got him to 49% conversion rate over a period of months. Now, if you're quick at maths, you understand what that means. He's gone from 11 to 49. That's almost 50%. It's almost 5 times as much business coming in because he's answering the phone properly. See, all that money on advertising is a waste if you're not converting them into sales. All that money of people ringing up asking for a brochure is a waste if you don't convert them into sales. These are some of the things that we need to do. I'll give you another example, and this was in the funeral business, actually. And so one of my clients, he's a funeral business. I got to help him convert sales. So again, guess what he thinks? We're converting everybody that calls in. No, you're not. We found out he's down at below 20%. Again, working with training and scripting and sales, and there's a few new brochures and a few new items that he had to develop because some of the other stuff didn't sell him very, very well. A new website, a new other structures. These few things, again, this guy more than doubles his conversion rate. Okay? Looking at what you're doing in conversion is one of the biggest gold mines for the average business owner out there. Here we are looking at how it is you're actually making money. Well, converting them is a major part of you actually making money. So what we want to do is teach you that and show you how to do it, build the systems in place so you can have your team members do it, not just you do it, and you can do it with consistency and you'll know the numbers. So you'll know if you spend that $1,000 on an advertisement, how many calls you'll get and how many will turn into a sale. So let's pretend in the next 12 months I could work with you and one of my team could work with you, and we'll coach you on how to grow your business. And in coaching you how to grow your business, we get, again, a 10% increase in the number of leads in the conversion rate of your business. So you've got 4,400 leads coming in, so 25% plus 10% more is not 35, it's 27.5. I only want 2.5% more, 10% better, not 10% total. So we take a look at this and we say, okay, I can easily do that in 12 months. And I know some of you are sitting there thinking you can do it on your own. Well, have you done it in the last 12? This is one of the biggest challenges when I open people's eyes to think, well, I can do that all on my own. Listen, there's a reason why most people don't go training and exercising every day. It's called their personal trainer doesn't show up every day. You know, if you had someone showing up every week coaching you on how to grow your business, how much faster would you get there? See, anyone can grow a business over time. Anyone can survive in business over time. But you got to thrive. You need a good coach. You need someone in your corner helping you, pushing you, cajoling you, getting the best plans, getting these things in play. So We've now got how many customers in our business? Okay, so here we are. We've built the business. We've got 4,400. We've multiplied that now by 25%. We're building the business, and we're getting some real results in the business. And every single time we do this, we're starting to build a really good business. 1,210 customers is where we're sitting right now, and we're doing pretty good. Now, what we've got to do is get them coming back more often. Let's start thinking about this just for a second. To get a customer back more often, first thing you got to do, actually know who they are, their name, their address, their email address, their phone number, things like this. Second thing you got to do is actually invite them back. It blows my mind how many businesses I go into. They never collect your name. They never collect who you are. They don't know where you're from. And even the ones that do, that don't even communicate with you at all, ask you back, invite you back, give you a reason to come back. You know, so many business owners fail in this one area, and it's such a huge profitability. Your best prospect for tomorrow is someone who bought from you yesterday. A previous customer is the best database. You know, by the way, that is the number one asset of your business. The asset is the database, so you've got to stay with that. So here we are, we're looking at building the repeat business in your business. How do you invite them back? Do you have newsletters? If I rang every single one of your customers, do they even know all of the things you sell or do for them? Have you ever heard, oh, I didn't know you sold that. I didn't know you did that. Of course you have. Why? They don't know. What's your follow-up strategy with customers? What is your repeat strategy? How do you do that? All those things. Again, literally, we've got 60 different ways that we can teach you to do this. And it might even just be fixing some of the ones you're doing right now, or tweaking them, or getting them better performing to be able to do this. But again, if we did that over 12 months, the next 12 months we work on doing this stuff. And yes, it might take years to do it. But ultimately, we've got to get the mastery done first, then we work the niche. Now, could you get 10% better? In this little business, could we go from 2 to 2.2? Absolutely we can over a 12-month period of time. Then we're going to work on your average revenue per sale. How much does the person spend every time they go in there? The simplest example of this, and we've all been through it, McDonald's, you go up, you order a burger, what's the question? Would you like fries with that? You know, why? 3 out of 10 people say yes to an upgrade. You know, they're not silly. They know with millions of people every single day eating there, if they ask every single person, 3 out of 10 say yes to an extra $1. You know, that's millions of dollars in revenues across the board for that company. I worked with an attorney one time, a solicitor in England and Australia. And here's this guy practicing the law. I said to him, let me just ask you a question. How many of your customers need their will updated or need their will done? He said, well, I don't know. I've never asked. I said, I want you to just from now on ask every single person that walks in the door, do they need their will done, updated? Do they have a living will? You know, what do they got? Just ask every single client of yours, be they business clients, be they personal clients. Let's see what happens. Guess what? 3 out of 4 people became his client for that on top of it. Extra few $1,000s in services to every single person because they didn't have it done because he asked one silly little question. You know, there's so many different ways we can do this. Again, more than 50 strategies in my first ever book, Instant Cash Flow. Your coach will work you through these strategies to help you grow your business. Again, could we over the next 12 months do 10%? Of course we can. In many cases, to get an extra 10% is just about looking at your pricing strategy. How do we raise the prices on certain items in your business? Not always the highest moving items, but generally the slower moving items. How do we get more margin in there? How do we get more margin on it? Sometimes you can get more margin just by looking at the cost factor of the business. We'll get to that in a second. So here we are, we've got a business. We've increased the first 4 areas by 10%. So of course we've increased revenues by 10%, haven't we? Haven't we? No, you're right. We haven't. We've actually increased revenues to $292,820. Yeah, that's right. That's how much? Yeah, you guessed it. See, when you take a look at that, it's a massive 46% increase in revenue because we're multiplying here, folks. We're not adding. It's that multiplying factor of breaking it down to the smallest possible area and then building it up again. And then we go and take a look at your margins. Now, your accountant will probably tell you that if you've increased revenues by 46%, your margins are going to be up anyway because your overheads have stayed the same. So you're probably going to have a 10% increase anyhow. That said, we've still got another 50 strategies to look at to help you build the margins in your business. So imagine working all 5 of these areas over a period of 12 months to what we can look at in your business. You know, in this case, $80,525.50. It's a 61% increase in bottom line profits by getting 10% in the 5 areas. Now, here's a quick question for you, some quick math trivia. What if we doubled each of the areas? The 4,000 became 8,000. The 25% becomes 50%. Of course, that gives you 2,000 customers when you're doubling, doesn't it? Oh, I got you again, didn't I? Well, some of you anyway. It's 4,000 customers. That's the equal sign that go in there. 2 becomes 4, 100 becomes 200. What's your revenues? Oh, I'm not going to put it up on the screen for you yet. Try and do the math. Yeah, it's, no, not 320,000 or 1.6 million or 800,000, 3.2 million, okay? This isn't rocket science. It's about there's 5 areas to grow a business. You do all 5 areas. They multiply out, and the productivity of the bottom line is huge. This is why I can build businesses where most people struggle. They're too busy cutting hair, doing lawn, doing whatever the heck their job is of the business, saving a wage. I'm building businesses. It's why I can build so many different types of businesses as well. So we take a look at that, and I ask you this question. What would you do if we could increase your bottom line by an extra 30 grand in the year? Well, where would you put the money? These are some of the things that we look at. Would you take a vacation? Would you employ someone that allows you to have a little time off? All of these different aspects that you